conference tournament time here in Fayette as the Central Methodist Eagles are preparing to host the Mustangs today. Mount Mercy visiting for the first round of the Heart of America Athletic Conference Championship Tournament. It is an exciting one, and the Mustangs hoping for a little bit of revenge after a very rough matchup with the Eagles their last time earlier in the season. Got to talk about it. It was a 9-0 victory for the Eagles. Mount Mercy has a bitter taste in their mouth off of that one. They have a bit of a bitter taste in their mouth just from the end of the season in general. It did not go their way. They're hoping to go back to what they were able to do at the start of the season. Started the year 5-1-2. Mount Mercy a chance to turn it back around come the postseason. And right now they take on the number 1 seed and a team that will be playing in the NAIA championships. That's the Central Methodist Eagles. Starting lineups getting announced right now, so let's go ahead and take you through the starting lineups for both teams. First off, with the Mount Mercy Mustangs, they are going to be led out by their goalkeeper, Manuela Gutierrez. Along with her, Nadine Sanchez, Ava D'Ambrosio, Lauren O'Toole are also in the game, along with Savannah Stout in the midfield. I don't know why I started with the midfield, but decided to switch things up. Let's go to the defense now. Marissa Taylor, along with Renata Bernal Martinez, Eden Campbell, and Hazel Konagain are in the defense. And then up front, you got Peyton Youngblood, along with Brielle Bastian, who are going to be some of the attackers to watch out for. On the other side, Central Methodist, Irena Reith, the defender for the Eagles. Jenna Brower is the midfielder, along with Sarah Garcia, Maya Heinrichsen, Mocha Ishii, and Grace Elder. Some other defenders on the starting lineup, Suzu Narasawa and Rika Protz. And then up front, Luisa Schaup, and of course, Mariana Barreto. In keeper, it's Brooke Asor. That's a look at the starting lineups for both of these two teams. The conference announced all conference selections recently, and one selection from Mount Mercy, it was Brielle Bastian. Bastian selected for the Heart of America Athletic Conference third team. And then on the Central Methodist side, several players selected, 6 in total. Of course, on the first team, the keeper Amber Bennett, along with Nerea Munoz and Jenna Brower, followed by Mariana Barreto and Rika Protz. 5 of them on the first team. Some really great play from Central Methodist all season long. And then on the second team as well, Sarah Garcia, Luisa Schaup, both of them on the second team. So 7 total selections. I think I said 6 earlier, but it's 7. And, of course, the coach of the year as well, Dan Schmidlin for the Eagles. Very impressive to get that Central Methodist back in the NAIA tournament for its 9th straight season. Wow. What a historical feat. They're going to be looking to make it 10 next year, double-digit consecutive years. But nonetheless, their focus is on the Heart Conference tournament now as we are underway here in Fayette. And quickly starting things off, it's Mount Mercy, and they are dispossessed for a split second. Mount Mercy taking it back and losing possession on the near side. Mount Mercy wearing the light blue uniforms, almost all light blue except for the letters, which are white, as that gets poked out of bounds. Grace Elder running back to it, but she's getting into position. For the Mustangs, Marissa Taylor preparing to give the throw in. Sends it down the line and hits it off of the head of her teammate. Kind of just bounced off of Nadine Sanchez. She wasn't looking for it, and it goes out the baseline for a goal kick. So first look at the keeper for today, Brooke Asor. Not the normal starting keeper for the Eagles. Amber Bennett, of course, all-conference member, but not in the goal today as Rika Protz takes it away. Quick give and go, now sends it up the line. Not much going right now for Central Methodist. This is a vast difference from the last time that these two teams played. Mentioned the 9-0 final score. It was 5 goals in the first 20 minutes for Central Methodist. That's how they built up such a big lead. Then they added the next 4 goals, pretty evenly balanced throughout the rest of the way. But it was that hot start of the game that you just can't get by outside of that. Central Methodist hoping to get back to that. Mount Mercy, though, continuing to apply pressure right now. They've been looking really good. Protz can't get there, and an offsides is called as the attacker Sanchez was a little too far pushed up. So the keeper, Asor, motioning to the left side for some movement. Now gets it. Central Methodist going to have their first opportunity. Barreto, quick move to the outside, flicks it up over the top, looking for a run to Schaup. Schaup down the right sideline, sends it into the middle, and it's a little short for Garcia. Near the far sideline, Schaup racing back to it. Still fought for. Ends up at the feet of Mocha Ishii. Ishii turns around and passes backward to Brower. Brower, long kick forward to Elder. Can't get it by the defender, D'Ambrosio. Now a long shot from Ishii. Deflected and blocked by Mount Mercy. Brower racing over to it again. Brower fights, but can't beat O'Toole for that ball. Lauren O'Toole, over there, you just got really her first look at game action. Another big-time name on this Mount Mercy team. She's been real good for them this season. O'Toole, 5'7" senior from Coventry, England. A transfer from Neosho County Community College. Now Ishii faces pressure, dishes off to the outside, trying to make the move inside, and Narasawa dispossessed. Throw in coming for the Eagles as Narasawa kind of stays put. She lost the ball for a bit, but able to get it back. Overhead throw quickly into Ishii. Ishii sends it over the top, and Garcia can't finish, tries to follow, but knocked out of bounds for a corner kick. Sarah Garcia was there with a potential to send it in, and Central Methodist, after a bit of a slow start compared to the last one with Mount Mercy, really applying some pressure early. Central Methodist quickly taking the momentum back. Brower on the corner, sends it into the middle, high in the air. Schaup heads it into the ground, can't control it. Sanchez trying to take it away. Now a long shot that goes way over the crossbar and out of bounds. Irena Reith is trying to make something happen, but unable to on that kick. Reith, one of the central defenders for this team. Junior from Madrid, Spain. Transferred over from Lewis and Clark Community College. Sarah Garcia, one of those all-conference selections. Lost the ball for a second, but was able to get it away to Brower. Now Narasawa works on her defender and passes backwards to Protz. Protz, couple of dribble moves, step back, pass forward up the sideline, tries to find her teammate, and Narasawa was able to keep it in for Barreto. Barreto underneath to Schaup. Schaup slips it in, and waiting for the call from the official, and that is indeed a goal. Very slow to react, as the ball will come all the way back up to the midfield. After Schaup was able to send it over the top. I mean, a great move from the outside coming in. It was Narasawa who sent it into the middle. Barreto was there and just kind of clipped it backwards. Schaup perfectly set up. It's 1-0, the lead for the Eagles. Shoup chases it down and already putting more pressure on. Ishii tries to get to it. And Reith taps it out of bounds. Garcia heads it, and they say it bounced off of Sanchez on its way out the sideline. So now Reith, the throw-in, header from Shoup toward the middle of the field. Shoup gets it back. Slows it down, now looks back to Brower. Brower moves up the sideline and turns it around for Reith. Garcia, Brower twirled to the ground and grabs her ankle relatively quickly as the whistle blows. But that foul against Central Methodist. So Mount Mercy now preparing to send this one away. Free kick from across midfield. A big opportunity here, although they already trail 1-0. The goal from Louisa Shoup. The first of this one. You go back to that match earlier in the season. Louisa Shoup had a brace, scored 2 goals in the game against Mount Mercy. Had her first goal of that match in the 15th minute and the second one in the 49th minute. Now Elder to the outside. Plenty of space for Reith to work with. She sends it up to Garcia. Garcia steps inside, tries to work it forward. Now back to the outside. A beautiful pass to Reith. Reith one-on-one with the outside defender. Tries to get it to the corner. And Taylor just hits it out the sideline. And all of a sudden, it's another big throw-in coming from far into Mount Mercy territory. Shoup turns, has it deflected. Reith just flicks her foot out, barely gets a touch on the ball, but Mount Mercy sticks with it. Now on the near side, D'Ambrosio sends it up to O'Toole. O'Toole tries to get it inside to Bastion, but can't get it to her all-conference teammate. Heinrichsen crosses the field over to Narusawa. The defender pushing up the sideline, looking to get it to Elder. Elder now with the ball at her feet, runs forward on the far side. Quick step back, looking for some sort of space. Elder loses the ball, but Heinrichsen picks it up. Heinrichsen passes forward to Elder. Elder still tries to get it forward, now finds Narusawa. Ishii into the corner. Ishii looking to centralize. Barreto's header, not there. Shoup is there to recover. Now back up top. Narusawa trying to do something, but dove on and finally stopped by Gutierrez. Manuela Gutierrez was being chased all over the place and just had to make that last second dive in order to stop it from going in. Now trying aggressively to push the ball forward. Eventually, Asor will pick it back up in her own penalty box and tosses it out to Reith. Irena Reith now has space and moves up the near sideline. Passes back inside to Shoup, who immediately one-touches it to Heinrichsen. Heinrichsen, ill-advised pass up, and it's taken away. Mount Mercy with possession. Bastion sends it backwards to the defense. Now Bastion gets it again. Once more, clears it back to Taylor. D'Ambrosio faces pressure, somehow sends that kick up the sideline, and eventually Brower kicks it out off of Sanchez. Brower gets the ball back from Garcia and back out to the far side. Narusawa sends the long pass forward. Shoup is there. Shoup, quick pass to the outside, and Heinrichsen can't control it. Brower back up forward, still fought for. Eventually, Ishii takes possession. Elder trying to keep this in play. Can't do so, and now a throw-in coming up for Mount Mercy. Mount Mercy over these last 3 games of the regular season really looking for something to go their way right now. Give themselves a fighting shot. They're still in this one. Sanchez up the right sideline. Slows it down and looks to turn back around. Now hands it off. D'Ambrosio back to Sanchez. Sanchez didn't have anyone there on the run to the right side. Tried to find somebody near the right side of the penalty area by the baseline, but nobody was chasing for it, so easily goes out the back line. And now a run up the near side for Irena Reith. Reith, plenty of space, gets it to Schaup. Schaup, nice dribble move. Another nice one, steps down, slows it, but can't get it to Barreto. Mariana Barreto, of course, have talked about some of the great players on this Central Methodist team, but Barreto, the Hart Conference Offensive Player of the Year and an overall co-player of the year with Missouri Valley's Marta Carrasco Mesa. That tells you how good Barreto has been. I mean, just outstanding, the things that Barreto's been able to do. 23 goals on the season through 17 games played. You just don't see that. 50 total points. Barreto looking to add some more in the postseason. Heinrichsen takes it away from Stout. Stout sends it up to the far sideline, though. Lots of fighting over there as Konigan has it taken out of bounds. Throw in coming from Mount Mercy. O'Toole chases. Doesn't keep it in, but it was off of Narasawa. So now another throw in for Mount Mercy. This giving them a chance. Sanchez has it in the box, sends it in. Brower just taps it in the air. Still in play, but eventually it goes out this near side. And Mount Mercy had an opportunity, but just wasn't quite able to get there. Now the ball on the ground, and Heinrichsen, Garcia turns around, passes backwards to Brower. Advantage played. Brower trying to stay with the ball, and eventually the free kick given. Sarah Garcia went down hard on the near side, but Brower was there for a little bit. Didn't have anything for her to do, though, so after facing some pressure, big free kick for Rika Protz. Over the top of the first line, but not the second line of Mustangs. Mocha Ishii weaves through and gets it to Schaup. Now back to the outside. Ishii works on the defender and decides to pass it backwards to Garcia. Garcia sending it in to Barreto. Barreto tried a nifty move to get in front of the defender, but it didn't work out. And a long opportunity for Mount Mercy, turning up the speed, and so O'Toole can't get there. Protz was able to knock it away. Protz sends it to Elder. Elder trying to chase it down, but it goes out of bounds. For another throw-in coming up here. 15 minutes into the match, still 1-0. Mount Mercy faring so far better than they did in the match just a couple weeks ago. And again, not hard to do that. It was a really rough one, and one that they're trying to forget. So far, Mount Mercy has done a strong enough job to keep themselves out of a big hole. They've kept themselves in the match. But they've got to do more in order to advance. They can't just stay in the match. They have to win it in order to move on in the Hart Conference tournament and give themselves a shot at the NAIA tournament. Now, if Central Methodist advances all the way to the championship, the second team will be determined other than the champion. But if Central Methodist is eliminated, the second automatic qualifier from the Hart Conference tournament will be determined by the championship. So this match has a lot more than just the impact for these two teams. Other teams looking for a better opportunity potentially to clinch themselves a spot in the NAIA National Tournament. Narasawa on the far side turns around and passes backward to Protz. Protz couple of dribble moves and sends it back to Narasawa. O'Toole kind of pressuring up top, but eventually staves it off. Sanchez now chases Reith. Reith moves it back to the inside, and really it seems like Sanchez and O'Toole are being worked, losing their stamina up top, but eventually it's a nice takeaway from Stout, who rushes up. Now on the far side, Bernal Martinez runs it forward, tries to pull it back, but in doing so, loses the ball, and it's a throw-in for Central Methodist. Elder moves it inside. Elder using her speed to the advantage. Now gets it forward to Barreto. Barreto and Schaup to her left. Barreto decides to take the shot, and it's off the crossbar. Mariana Barreto had another key opportunity at a goal, but cannot pick up her first of the match with that shot. You go back to the last match that these two teams played, and of course it was the hat trick for Barreto. Scored her first goal in the 10th minute, her second one in the 20th, and her third goal came in the 63rd. Schaup, long shot from away, and it bounces off the field goal bar. So a goal kick coming up. Louisa Schaup had all the confidence in the world for that shot. Of course, she had the opener back in the 6th minute. It's the one goal that is on the scoreboard right now. Schaup has not just scored that goal, but plenty more throughout the season as well. That was her 8th goal of the year, and she is second on the team in goals scored. Of course, behind Mariana Barreto. Hard to beat 23 goals on a season, especially in 17 games. I mean, averages almost 1.5 goals per game. It's more than some teams. Central Methodist tries to get the ball back, and they do on a free kick. Rika Protz looking to send it forward quickly, but now the full free kick coming as Protz couldn't get the ball away without facing pressure. Protz looks forward, and the referee signals good to go. Protz long kick forward and headed in the air. Still fought for. Garcia finds it. Garcia turns it over to Barreto. Barreto moving toward the goal. Loses the ball. Brower chasing it down. Central Methodist still has possession of it. Quick kick is taken away. Here we go. Mount Mercy moving it forward. They've got a couple players pushing it. inside the box, and not enough juice on the shot. Lauren O'Toole had the positioning, but just had a little bit of a foot on the ball. Central Methodist able to avoid giving up the equalizer. Mount Mercy still doing a good job of keeping this one exciting. Central Methodist was hoping they'd be up 2 goals by now, but still a 1-0 match and a free kick given as Ava D'Ambrosio went a little too aggressively toward Garcia. Now Garcia and Sanchez are having at it with each other. Referee says, let's not get too mouthy over here. Stop the jawing, and Sanchez kind of held back. Now Rika Protz talking to Sanchez. Protz sends it up over the top into the penalty area. Can't find Schaup. Headed back out. And Narasawa sends the long kick into Schaup. Barreto tries to back it up, but picked up instead by Gutierrez. Gutierrez motions on forward and holds off as she waits for her team now. And Gutierrez, the long kick, finds Garcia. Garcia to Schaup. Now Ishii. Ishii eventually finds Brower. Brower, a lot of physicality. Passes backwards to Reith. Now Protz. Protz working, moving. Asor. Narasawa. And Protz again. Protz back to the outside for Reith. Whole bunch of space for Reith to work with. That's something that Central Methodist has been so good at producing, is all of that open space. Though it's only resulted in the 1 goal so far. Heinrichsen takes it away. Barreto able to rebound. Has Elder on the outside. Elder trying to keep it in bounds and can, but she's offsides. Grace Elder was chasing that down to the goal line, and it was a near perfect pass, but a touch offsides. And it's coming all the way back. So Manuela Gutierrez runs over to the free kick spot and looks down the field. Gutierrez, the keeper for this squad, has been all season long. Played in all 17 matches. Allowed 42 goals. Has 70 saves, though. 63% save percentage. She was hoping for a little bit of a better year, but Mount Mercy's defense has certainly struggled more than anything. Gutierrez, not her fault on some of these shots that have gone in. Couple of substitutions here. O'Toole comes off for Mount Mercy. Elder and Ishii come off for the Eagles. Pascal Rodriguez, Beatrice I'm in for Central Methodist as well. Orla Humphrey in for Mount Mercy. Central Methodist tries to get it inside. Barreto's got space. She takes the shot, but deflected out of bounds for a goal kick. Louisa Schaup was accidentally in the area. And Schaup has it go off of her back. Barreto wishing that things would have turned out a little bit differently there. There was a lot of traffic inside the goal box. Now Sanchez Sanchez has shown the aggressiveness today. Continues to do so here as we're over 25 minutes into the match. Sanchez kicks it toward the middle, but immediately off of Heinrichsen and out of bounds for the throw-in. Marissa Taylor looks for a teammate, now sends it into Sanchez. Sanchez off the knee, into the middle, lot of space, and can't do anything with it. Now Central Methodist on the counterattack. Sarah Garcia sends it forward over the top. Beautiful pass to Schaup. Schaup kicks it back. Now takes the shot. Right side of the goal, off the crossbar. Barreto trying to follow up and can't get to the ball before Gutierrez. Louisa Schaup nearly put that one on a dime into the upper 90 of the goal, but couldn't quite do it. Hit the crossbar. There would have been no shot Gutierrez would have had to stop that one from going in if it were maybe a half foot lower. Good step, too, from Brower. Brower takes it back. Now slows it down and turns around. Looks middle, finds Heinrichsen. Heinrichsen up into the middle again. Central Methodist has numbers. Schaup still trying to get that brace today. Schaup turns around and finds Garcia. Garcia into the middle, and a little miscommunication there. She thought she had Barreto, but Barreto was not ready. Still just a one-goal game, as this one was 9-0 earlier in the year. Mount Mercy has had a couple of opportunities as well, even though Central Methodist still has looked the better team so far. It hasn't been by nearly as much as last time out, and Mount Mercy, if they can stay in this one, you never know what'll happen. Narasawa out of the match now for Central Methodist on the substitution, and throw in from Reith finds Barreto. Barreto moves into the middle of the field. Barreto dribbles through the defense and flips it backward to Brower. Brower kicks it inside, trying to get it in through to Schaup. Deflected away, and still plenty of opportunities. But who's going to be the one to take away the ball? And a slide tackle successful for Mount Mercy. Jenna Brower faces contact, and that allows a free kick to be taken. Rika Protz flips the ball to the ground, now looks forward, and the center referee says, all right, we're good to go. Rika Protz, the newcomer of the year in the Heart of America Athletic Conference. So she won some awards as well. Louisa Schaup can't control the ball on the near sideline. Schaup had some space there. She could have made a move, but wasn't able to complete the pullback. Header goes out of bounds from Garcia. Garcia kind of wearing that mitt on the right hand. Looks to be covering her wrist. Sanchez takes it back for a second. Now Garcia. Garcia, long kick. Bernal Martinez nearly took it away. Sorry. Orla Humphrey nearly took it away. Heinrichsen sends it to Ishii. Lots of fighting here on the Central Methodist side, and eventually another free kick comes up. Rika Protz once again prepares to take it. Trotz this season for Central Methodist has, again, been a big part of the team. 17 games played as Schaup sends this one to the right side and just out of bounds for a corner kick. And Schaup has seemingly been the focal point of the offense today, despite, of course, Mariana Barreto being such a key piece. Couple of subs here, and the trainers rushing on to the field as well as a Mustang is down. Brower comes off as Luana Geraldine checks in, along with Laura Andres. And Luisa Schaup is now to the sideline. So no more Schaup, at least for the time being. And on the Mount Mercy side of things, not sure if they're making any moves here or if they're just going to grab some water while the timeout takes place. Still an injury time here on the field. 14:01 to go in the first half. And now Bernal Martinez back on her feet and walking off toward the sideline. Good sight to see, as seems like maybe she got hit in the face. So the hope is that she'll be able to return shortly, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, there is going to be a substitution as the Mustangs bring on Hannah Dodds. And now the corner kick. Raises her hand with plenty of players in the box. Sends the corner kick in, and it's off the crossbar, and yes, it's out of bounds. The question was whether or not it did officially cross the plane. Assistant referee says yes, it did. So now Gutierrez prepares to send this one away. And you could see Central Methodist really trying to get the ball back. Beatrice Ime was the one pressuring it for the time being. Now the kick, a bit of a soft one. Sanchez sends it high in the air, but Reith heads it, still headed. Ball finally touches the ground. Sanchez sends it to the outside, and the cross attempted by D'Ambrosio, but it's blocked. Ball quickly back in. Sanchez positioning herself in front of the ball. Can't keep it for long, though. Sanchez dispossesses Reith. Great ball movement now from Mount Mercy, but even better attacking from Central Methodist. Barreto sticks her foot into the mix and taps it away. Still chasing it down, and Riel Bastian now Sanchez kind of going again with the behind the back kick. Long pass, unsuccessful from Bastian. Asor sends it to the outside, and Asor hasn't seen too much work today. Geraldine can't quite chase it down. Into the far side corner, Protz kicks it away, and Orla Humphrey fights for it. And now substitution as Bernal Martinez comes back into the match. Dodds back to the sideline. So good news for the Mustangs as they get their starter back into the match. Central Methodist has Sarah Garcia check out of the game as well, and coming into her place is Leslie Serrato. Another throw-in for Mount Mercy. They still trail by just one. All they need is to get a goal in here, but a foul against Sanchez in the penalty area. Doesn't really matter that it's in the penalty area, but Rika Protz was on the receiving end of the foul. So now Brooke Asor looks to send this one up the field and looks for her teammate, and down to the ground pretty hard there. Beatrice Ime eventually finds its way to the near sideline for Mount Mercy, and Reith just has to send that one out of play. And again, Mount Mercy sticking with it. They continue putting pressure on the Central Methodist side, trying to get anything to go their way, and the kick goes off of Heinrichsen. Another throw in now for Taylor. Taylor looking for somebody to pass it to. Works it in, and Protz, not a great clearance. Still in play, and it's a corner kick. Mount Mercy having a chance to set up the equalizer. So they bring over their corner kick taker, Eden Campbell, out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, along with a couple of her teammates from back in high school. Campbell sends it in. It's in the air and eventually cleared. Barreto trying to keep it in play. She'll be able to. They've got a couple numbers. Counterattack comes for Central Methodist up the far sideline. Here's a chance for CMU. Pascal Rodriguez cuts it back up to the top of the penalty area. Rodriguez to the outside. Clear kick opportunity, but way too soft on the ground from Serrato. Easily picked up by Gutierrez. And Gutierrez holds off for a second as she lets her team drop back. Man, great opportunity on the counter for Central Methodist to double their lead. Couldn't do that on the run, though, and now Geraldine tries to send it to Rodriguez, but can't find her. Instead, it goes back to Campbell. Quick takeaway now, and Youngblood sends it up. Sanchez does not have the speed, slowing it down. Eventually it goes out of bounds. Serrato did a good job of getting in position in front of Sanchez. And now Barreto will come out of the game for Central Methodist after the most recent run. Sarah Oosterveld into the game. And the throw does not go CMU's way. Sanchez has been continuing to look strong, and the header from Protz sends it out of play. Sanchez said, fine, I'll try on goal myself. Not a bad idea. Protz got to the ball and put a head on it, but couldn't locate it great. Lucky it ends up out of bounds. And now Campbell steps over to the corner flag, ready to send it in. Eden Campbell looking for a run-up. Kicks this one in, and it's in the air, eventually racing over to it. It is a goal kick. And several Mount Mercy players confused and frustrated by that call. They thought it was a corner kick, but the near side assistant referee says otherwise. But as they say, ball don't lie. Mount Mercy gets the ball back on the throw-in. Still plenty of work to do. Youngblood gets the throw in and eventually finds Stout. Stout sends it backwards. Bastion to the outside. Now trying to turn it up the field. A lot of physicality and a free kick. Ava D'Ambrosio was pushed up. And now Sanchez. This is an odd angle, but seems like should have a shot on goal. Sanchez from a very similar spot here earlier in the match. Did try a spot, not from a free kick, but just from dribbling the ball around. Had some space and said, yeah, I'm going to take this one. That was just a couple moments ago. Just about 5 minutes to play here in the first half. And now Sanchez determining whether she'll go for goal or pass it in. Goes for goal, and it clears over the field goal for a goal kick coming up. Sanchez had the leg for it. Just couldn't quite get the accuracy down on the shot. And now the goal kick for Brooke Asor. Rika Protz sends it outside. Irena Reith kicks it in, and CMU on the counterattack. Geraldine, she'll take it herself, passes to Rodriguez. Rodriguez crosses into the middle, wide open, and Serrato can't finish it. Had the ball at her feet, tried to one-touch it in, but with the left foot, that was not the strongest shot effort. And so Martinez puts the ball on the ground for the goal kick. Just a couple minutes left here in the first half, and so far, Central Methodist has got the lead, but have not looked super convincing in doing so. Mount Mercy's had plenty of opportunities. Now a long pass and headed nearly straight in the air. Eventually, Sanchez finds it again. Sanchez is there, really, every time it feels like. Geraldine turning around. Fights for it and passes back to Protz. Heinrichsen, and now all the way to the back, Geraldine. Geraldine looking for Rodriguez, but taps it out of play off of Youngblood. Throw in for the Eagles, stays in play. A little bit of indecisiveness, but CMU still sticks with it for now. Sanchez pressured the other way, but couldn't come up with it. Now on the far side, Oosterveld. Still plenty of options, but it's a corner kick. Central Methodist trying to double their advantage in the final 2 minutes before halftime. Corner kick incoming for CMU. The kick comes in near side. Geraldine jumps up, can't finish. Followed up on the corner kick, though. Serrato able to send it on the ground into the box, but not much more out of that. Heinrichsen, long pass in. Plenty of space, but offsides and taken down in the box. Protz was there, but offsides when she hit the ball. So regardless of the contact, it was an offsides play. And once again, Gutierrez prepares to clear it away. Up the field, turns around to the outside. Still some fighting happening here, and now on the far sideline. 1 minute to go, and it's Mount Mercy ball. Trying to take this one up, and offsides position for Sanchez, so she just turns around and lets it go out the goal line. Goal kick coming up for Asor. No real rush from her, and seems like CMU's more than okay with taking this to the half. So Asor sends it away, and still looking for potentially one more. You never know. Slide tackle and nothing going. Mount Mercy has the ball with 10 seconds to go. Long kick coming up, and not going to be enough time to get this one into the net. Long shot chance. Might as well take the shot there, but does not have the juice on it. Beatrice, I'm on the last touch, and that does it for the first half. 1-0. Central Methodist has the lead. Just the one goal right now. It's a close one. A lot of revenge on the line for Mount Mercy. They've looked pretty good so far, despite really outshooting Central Methodist. Mount Mercy has outshot CMU has outshot Mount Mercy 11-3 this match. 5 shots on goal to just 1 from Mount Mercy, but it's only a 1-0 match, and that's the difference right now. Just 1 goal separating these two teams, and it's Louisa Schaup from the 6th minute of the game. Since then, nothing else. We'll see what changes in the second half. Does Mount Mercy have it in the tank to pull off the unprecedented comeback and get the upset win? We'll have to wait and see. That comes up next. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and when we come back, second half of action here from Fayette, Missouri, as Central Methodist hosts Mount Mercy in the first round of the Heart of America Athletic Conference tournament. Second half of action just about to get underway. It's cooling down a little bit here as the sun has set over the horizon in Fayette, 57 degrees, but clear skies and a perfect night for some postseason action. It's the Heart of America Athletic Conference Tournament as the Central Methodist Eagles are hosting the Mount Mercy Mustangs. 1-0, the Central Methodist lead. It was Louisa Schaup who scored on the assist from Mariana Barreto back in the 6th minute of the first half in what was a rematch of a 9-0 victory from CMU earlier in the season, just a couple weeks back. But Mount Mercy playing significantly better right now than they were in that one, and really staying alive as well. They haven't just been surviving, but they've had a couple of opportunities with the ball down the sideline. Now, the stats, they do point to Central Methodist kind of on top of this game, and they've had, of course, plenty of opportunities as well that they haven't been able to convert on. But a big point in this match so far is that Mount Mercy is not out of it, and they're playing like it as well. CMU starts off with the ball, but immediately Mount Mercy gets it back. Here on the near side, Bastion gets it to Sanchez, and some nice passing. Sanchez up, sends it over the middle, and racing toward the ball. Eventually ends up in the hands of the keeper, Asor. Orla Humphrey was chasing it down. And a big opportunity for Mount Mercy early on. They're coming out the gates hot here. Trying to see if they can turn it back around. Ball back into the middle of the field, and Narasawa gets it to Ishii. Ishii fights for it, but Sanchez ends up with it. Now back on the ground. Oh, nice cut back inside from Stout. Protz tries to get it to Garcia, and a nice step two from Bastion. Able to get in the way of the ball, but still a CMU throw-in. Narasawa tries to take it away. Sanchez instead ends up with it. Nice patience from Ishii as she waited for the attack and now sends it up towards Schaup, who can't get there before Gutierrez. Gutierrez picking it up slowly and holding on to it. Schaup seemed to be hyper-targeted back in the first half before she came out due to the substitution. I mean, it felt like really everything was going her way. Long kick coming up, and Humphrey can't chase it down. Asor. Now Protz. Protz passes forward. And there's Bernal Martinez. Passing backwards. And rough pass. Elder taps it forward. Mariana Barreto to the outside for Garcia. Garcia straight at the keeper. Gutierrez grabbed it from the shot on goal and did not have to move a muscle. Sarah Garcia had the space. It was the right shot for her to take, but just didn't get the execution she was looking for. And now on the outside, opportunity for Mount Mercy. The Mustangs pushing it forward, and the long kick not on target from Bastion as Asor holds on to it. Asor throws it to Garcia. Garcia heads it to the outside for Narasawa. And just a quick kick out of bounds from Konagain. Narasawa finds Garcia. Oh, nice pullback. Gets it around Konagain. Now Barreto. Barreto on the near sideline, looking to get it to the baseline. Cuts it back up top. Tries to look for the shot. Now Schaup skies it in the air and well out of play. Schaup again with the opportunity. Schaup, 6 shots on the game. the 1 goal to show for it, so not quite empty. Similarly, 3 shots for Mariana Barreto and 2 shots for Sarah Garcia. So look at the Central Methodist side. On the other side, for Mount Mercy, 2 shots for Nadine Sanchez and 1 shot for Lauren O'Toole. Those are the only shot takers in this one so far. And a foul goes against Sanchez. Sanchez playing very physically and aggressively today. She's been a key feature of the offensive attack. Rika Protz waits and sends it forward. Bernal Martinez bats it in the air. Now at the feet forward. Eventually Reith takes it away. Elder turns around, gets it to Protz. Now back to Elder and Reith. Reith forward to Schaup. Schaup sends it up the line. Heinrichsen chasing it down. She's got space in the corner. Now into the middle. Barreto tries to tap it with the right foot. Not there. Followed up. And Garcia sends it in. 2-0. Central Methodist the lead. Sarah Garcia. A big one to almost guarantee the win for Central Methodist. Now, there's still 40 minutes to go, but 2-0, a big deficit to come back from if you're Mount Mercy. And CMU's been waiting for that one. After plenty of opportunities, Sarah Garcia, her 3rd shot of the match, and it's the one that finds the back of the net. So 2-0 CMU. A goal in the 51st minute. Now Garcia again heads it. Getting the ball back in her possession. She's going to try for another one, but can't get too good a positioning there. And Garcia from the midfield has been pushing up all game long. That's how she's got so many shots today. As the ball goes out on the near side. Narusawa throws it in. Finds Garcia. Garcia double teamed and Sanchez knocks it out of bounds. Narusawa sends it to Barreto. Barreto pulls it back. Tries to find space in the middle, but loses it. Brower has contact, and a foul goes against Mount Mercy. The foul on Savannah Stout. Sarah Garcia prepares to take the kick. This one a little too far away from a shot, but a good place for a set piece. Garcia holds both hands in the air, and center referee motioning to Mount Mercy. Now Garcia sends the kick in. Protz races up to it, but Gutierrez grabs it instead. Gutierrez clears the kick forward over the head of Jenna Brower. Still on the ground. Heinrichsen to Garcia to Narusawa. And a good takeaway for a second from D'Ambrosio. Elder pushes it forward. Elder looking for someone to pass to. And again, dispossessed, but CMU immediately gets the ball back. So even though Mount Mercy's been stepping into these passing lanes, they have not been able to take away possession. Brower, long pass, trying to get it to the outside for Barreto. Not able to get the pass through, and now Narasawa sends it backwards to Protz. Protz kicks it up the near sideline. Garcia, great kick. Barreto goes to the ground after flicking her foot in the air. No foul called. Barreto shocked about that, but Garcia is there. Garcia sends it to Barreto. Barreto, pullback in the middle of the area. Another pullback. Tries to find some space to take the shot. Still no space. Barreto still with the ball, and eventually she goes down, but now it's Brower with it. Brower back to Barreto, and finally it's Stout who takes it away. Now long pass, and Protz races toward it, but watches it as Asor will wait for it to get into the penalty area. So now Brooke Asor holding on to the ball, and CMU trying to wait these final 35 minutes of the match. Passes backwards, and now to the outside Protz. Protz sends it up the field. Barreto to the outside. Great move from Garcia. Stayed patient. Ball still on the ground. Protz tries to find Ishii. Ishii's got space. Ishii into the corner, sends it into the penalty area. Barreto pops it up, but through the uprights. And the field goal is good. Still 2-0 here as Mariana Barreto just couldn't quite find the space to take the shot. Even though Barreto's been involved in plenty today. She's got 2 assists. She does not have a goal in today's match. Rather surprising because she's averaged over a goal a match. Garcia heads it straight up. And throw in, they say, for Mount Mercy. And you look at the run that Barreto was on. Really just incredible. But she did not score in the last game. And right now has yet to score in this one. So it could be back-to-back matches without a score for the leading scorer on this team, Mariana Barreto. Still time for her to add one to her total, but only 33 minutes to play, and CMU playing for the win more than anything else. Garcia goes down, and potentially a talking to. And it is. D'Ambrosio has the center referee walking over to her and saying, hey, can't do that. Now Sarah Garcia stands back up and sets the ball down with Heinrichsen to her left. Center referee kind of talking to both of them and now prepares for the free kick by motioning to Sanchez where she can stand. Sarah Garcia and Maya Heinrichsen both on the ball. Sanchez, the closest Mount Mercy player to it. Heinrichsen steps over. Garcia, no. Now Heinrichsen again coming back. The header to the backside. Nobody's there to follow it up. And Garcia tried chasing it down at the last moment, but not able to get there. So a goal kick coming up now. Another goal kick for Gutierrez. Gutierrez has been under constant barrage back in the box. Now sends the ball forward, and it goes out of bounds. Sarah Garcia looked to throw it in, but eventually hands it off to Narasawa. Narasawa up on the near side, kind of behind the back kick there. But not quite in time, and that's going to happen whenever you're not looking at each other. No matter how good of a connection that you guys have, Narasawa and Garcia were both there. Obviously, throughout the season, you kind of pick up some things. Once in a while, you get that pass to go down, but tough one to go. Tries to go with the nutmeg, and eventually Garcia got to it, but couldn't keep it because the second defender was there. Now Brower tries to fit it to Schaup. Schaup takes a foot nearly to the face, and Mariana Barreto couldn't keep it in possession despite keeping it in play. Throw in now for Mount Mercy. Throws it in up the sideline, and Brower kicks it out. Another throw-in off the head of Brower, and Protz once again sends it away. Mount Mercy just inching down the sideline, it feels like. Over the head, and Protz is there. And once again, says heads up to the bench as the kick goes out toward them. Kick coming in, and still on the ground, and some sort of shot effort there from Bastion, but not a strong one. Just kind of seemed like she wanted to put her foot on the ball and make sure that something got in the box. Great positioning so far from Narasawa, but eventually Sanchez wins, takes it over, and the shot easily picked up by Asor. Elder works it up, but not for too long before it's tapped out. Irena Reith holding the ball, but 3 subs coming on for CMU. Pascal Rodriguez comes in, along with Beatrice Eim and Belen Castillo. Grace Elder, Maya Heinrichsen, and Irena Reith. All 3 of them are out of the match for Central Methodist. And now the throw-in gets over the top. Schaup tries to chase it down, can't get there. Eim to Schaup. Schaup sends it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez cuts inside, now slows it down. Back into the middle, trying to go back post, and Garcia not able to follow it up. It goes out of bounds. And now the goal kick for Mount Mercy. They trail by 2 at the moment. And Mount Mercy would love a goal to go their way. The month of October, it's not a great month for them, but their offense, outside of the matches against top 15 teams, was great as Schaup sends this one in, and it is a goal. Louisa Schaup again. Her second of the match makes it 3-0 CMU. Louisa Schaup, another brace against Mount Mercy. She had 2 goals in that match earlier in the season, and now has 2 goals in the postseason. Louisa Schaup really showing off today. A goal in the 62nd minute. And putting this one out of hand in Fayette. A great showing from the Eagles as they'll look to continue on into the second round on Saturday. The winner of this match will be taking on number 4 Benedictine and number 5 Park. One of those two, whoever wins that match. Barreto sends this one in. Could be another. The shot misses to the left. Pascal Rodriguez had the goal in her sights. Nothing but the keeper. Could not find the net, though. And Gutierrez did just enough to scare off the shot. So it remains 3-0 despite nearly another goal from the Eagles. And this second half offense is really what you were expecting to see out of the gates. Mount Mercy did a good job in the first half, but seems like Central Methodist was ready to go in the second. Mount Mercy, though, an opportunity of their own for a little bit before Brower takes it away. Brower sends it up to Barreto. Barreto could be in for her first, but it's blocked on the ground by Gutierrez. Picked back up by Barreto. Barreto sends it in, and it's over the crossbar. Gutierrez, a big save. One-on-one with Mariana Barreto. And now a slew of subs for both teams. As Jenna Brower comes out of the game for CMU, along with Mariana Barreto. Both of them are now out of the match for now, along with a couple of subs for Mount Mercy. They saw Orla Humphrey check out of the game. Into the game, Laura Andres for CMU. Now down on the ground is Louisa Schaup, kind of just sat there for a little bit. Other substitutions, kind of finishing them up. Luana Geraldine came in. And then on the Mount Mercy side, Cassie White and Emily Padilla both checked into the game as well. Marissa Taylor also came out of the game. So plenty of subs there. As the kick is sent up, Sanchez has space, slows down. The shot coming in, diving stop from Brooke Asor. And finally, an opportunity for Mount Mercy on goal. "25 minutes to go in the match. Central Methodist has a plenty big enough lead. But Mount Mercy trying to get something to end their season with. Kick comes all the way back, but Sanchez was offsides. Could not get back in time, and now Narasawa instead sends it to Protz. Protz calls to her teammates. Protz still waits, and now sends it forward. All in the air and goes the other direction. Mount Mercy now an opportunity again. It's Bernal Martinez who takes the kick. Bernal Martinez. Long kick forward, popped into the air. Still D'Ambrosio is there. Plenty of space. The shot goes up and over the crossbar. Emily Padilla, who had just came into the game, had a wide open goal to shoot at, but could not come up with it. Just 23 minutes to play, and if there was any chance at the miracle comeback, it would have started there. Narusawa sends it forward, and Rodriguez, nothing but the keeper ahead of her, and once again, Gutierrez slides and makes the stop. Garcia follows it up. Now in once again, Gutierrez stops Geraldine. Another action sequence for Manuela Gutierrez, who has been really great these last couple of approaches. Suzu Narasawa now throws it in. Garcia steps back. Garcia waits, and D'Ambrosio kicks it out. Narasawa throws it in and down to the ground for a second. Now Mount Mercy's Sanchez tries to find it into the middle, but could not curve the ball enough to get it to her teammate, and a sore there for the pickup. Protz up the field. Geraldine turns it around, quickly back to Geraldine. She sticks with it, fights through, and now Garcia. Long throw coming up. Chase down from Rodriguez. Still CMU throwing. Three 3-0 the Central Methodist lead. Protz, long kick. It's a good pass, but Schaup can't get to it. Eventually, Bastian kicks it out for a Central Methodist throw-in. Another one coming up for the Eagles. And the Eagles already a spot in the NAIA tournament as they were regular season champions. However, this could be the last game of the season for Mount Mercy, who likely will miss the tournament without this win. Sarah Garcia, in her dribble package there, tried to move it around, but couldn't quite finish with the ball as Grace Elder and Irena Reith check into the game. And finally, Garcia comes out along with Rika Protz. Central Methodist under 20 minutes to play and taking out some key players. Also, Louisa Schaup to the bench. The throw-in finds nothing but Mount Mercy. However, Campbell just had to clear it. Another opportunity here. Mount Mercy unable to make much of it. The ball eventually kicked out of bounds, and Suzu Narasawa up the sideline takes the ball from her coach. And Narasawa was looking for Elder, who was not turned around. Lucky it hit off of the Mount Mercy player. And again, a substitution coming in here. So Narasawa now out of the match for CMU. Sanchez pushing the other way. Not able to make much of it. Emma Burnt is into the game for Central Methodist. Emma Burnt, just 7 games played this season. 3 shots taken as a defender for the squad. So getting to see a little bit more action here as a sophomore. Celine Lorraine also into the match. She's only played in 5 matches. This is her 6th as a junior forward. A couple of names you don't get to see too much coming in and playing some minutes for Central Methodist. Of course, they've had a little bit of action from some of the other games this season. Central Methodist tries to do something with it, but Mount Mercy now has a throw. Long kick popped in the air, and Brooke Assor plenty of time to pick it up. Assor dumps it off. Now, left side run up for Central Methodist. Still Mount Mercy. Not much to work with. This ball here in the middle of the field, and Mount Mercy playing a little bit better right now, but going up against a couple of reserves on this Central Methodist team, and a little bit defeating for Mount Mercy, though still much improved from the last time these two played. Back on the 9-0 victory for Central Methodist. And now Leslie Serrato comes into the game as Mocha Ishii come out. And celebration in lieu for this Central Methodist team. Central Methodist about to win their 15th game of the season. 15-1-2, their overall record. And despite that, they sit at just 13th in the nation in the most recent polls. As here's another opportunity, but offsides called. That was a great chance, but just couldn't get it to her. Celine Lorraine kind of pushing up there, and mentioned her briefly, but nearly made it a 4-0 match. Now Mount Mercy tries to do something, and Assor picks it up diving on the ground as it goes back into the goal box. Decides to go backwards to her teammate. Now to the near side, and not the perfect pass up, but faced a lot of pressure. Laura Andres. Conagain passes this one in, and Central Methodist turns it the other way. A little bit of miscommunication there. Wasn't sure if Elder or Serrato was going to grab it. Elder sends it into the middle. Lorraine back to it. Bit of space now to work with. And eventually, the kick just goes up the field and finds all the way to the CMU back line. Belen Castillo. Castillo can't do anything with it. Castillo, a sophomore from Malaga, Spain. Gets it up to Luana Geraldine. Geraldine works on her defender. Now passes to the outside. Lots of pressure. Rodriguez. Rodriguez working her way forward. Rodriguez shoots right side of the net and misses. Pascal Rodriguez had another opportunity, and even though Mount Mercy's been pushing the ball into Central Methodist territory occasionally, they have not had nearly the same chances that they had in the first half. CMU still proving themselves strong here in the Hart Conference quarterfinals. The next match coming up on Saturday. Mentioned this earlier that they'll take on the winner of Benedictine and Park. On the other side of the bracket, Mid-America Nazarene takes on Clark. Mid-America Nazarene took home the Hart Conference Championship last season against these Eagles. The Eagles lost in the second round of the NAIA National Tournament, and before that they lost in the championship of the Hart Conference Championship against Mid-America Nazarene. So potential matchup again in the finals, but we'll have to wait and see. Bastion sends it to the outside and still on the ground. Now sends it forward. Elder had some space for a second. A lot of contact, but no flag either way. Assistant referee was kind of nearby on that one and decided not to blow anything. And now the throw-in for Mount Mercy, and it, unluckily for the Mustangs, goes off of one of their own. Still on the ground, and it goes backwards. But a free kick coming up. The kick comes in and heads toward the midfield logo. Lorraine tries to find it. Still on the ground. Elder chases it down on the near sideline and kicks it out of bounds for the throw-in. Mentioned the Benedictine and Park match that kicks off at 7 p.m. tonight. So that one, a big one coming up. 7 p.m. Central Time, and that held in Atchison, Kansas. Home of course, the Ravens. Benedictine looking to take down a very tough Park team. Now the free kick centralizes, still in the air, and eventually Asor grabs it and keeps it in her mitts. Still both teams fighting right now with just under 8 minutes to play, and Mount Mercy trying to get at least one to not be shut out. Irena Reith was there and knocked it out, but now Irena Reith heads to the sideline as McKenna Lake comes into the game. So McKenna Lake getting to see some action. The other game in the conference tournament that is already kicked off, already finished, in America Nazarene took down Clark. Mentioned them earlier, and MNU still showing up strong. A 2-1 victory over Clark. Clark the 6th seed and MNU the 3 seed. So Clark done with the tournament, likely done for the season, but we'll wait and see. Geraldine heads it forward and tries to find Lorraine, but not there. The other match, Missouri Baptist and Missouri Valley, also kicks off at 7 o'clock. So 2 matches starting at 7. And this one started at 4, and Bastion had to go through the referee for that ball. And it goes all the way back to the keeper now. Asor kicks this one up the field for a second, and now gets it right back. Sends it to the outside. Still not much room for her to work with. And Lake loses the ball. Another throw-in coming up for Mount Mercy. Now, they've had a couple opportunities here down the stretch to at least put one on the board. 5.5 minutes to go, and 3-0 the lead for CMU. Ball on the far side corner. Potential set piece for Mount Mercy. Eden Campbell sends it low into the box and still fought for. Eventually, CMU clears it. And now a counterattack going the other way. CMU has numbers. Elder is showing off the speed on the far side and able to stay on her feet, but not much there. Kind of waving the arms around like one of those old cartoons that you see. I'm trying to stay on my feet here. CMU was booking it for another potential goal. Still got a chance at one, though. As the free kick comes now. She sends the free kick in, and back post, still on the ground, finds it, kicks it, but not for too long as the whistle blows and stops the play. Now Gutierrez walks up to it, puts it down with under 4 minutes to play. Gutierrez sends it forward, looks for Elder. Elder takes it. And again, miscommunication on where those players are going to be, because D'Ambrosio was open for Stout, but she didn't realize that she was wanting a run. So instead, no run there, and now a throw-in for CMU. Just over 3 minutes to play in the match, and Luana Geraldine looking for a finisher. Geraldine on the ground, sends it into the middle, but Mount Mercy clears it to the sideline. Serrato gets ready to throw it in. Sends it a pretty good one, a looping throw-in that gets into the box. Now popped into the air, still on the ground. Gutierrez does not pick it up. And it rolls out for another CMU throw-in. 2.5 minutes to play as Central Methodist puts the finishing touches on what will be a dominating first-round win. Central Methodist, the 1 seed in the tournament, Missouri Valley the 2 seed, but Missouri Valley ranked higher in the top 25 poll. Missouri Valley all the way up to number 4. The two teams played earlier in the season, and it was an 88th minute equalizer from Missouri Valley that saw them tie it up. Central Methodist had the lead for a majority of that one and just couldn't quite get that last one to go their way. As the whistle blows to stop play here for a second. As Central Methodist gets the ball back in. Missouri Valley ranked 4th. Central Methodist 13th, and in large part that has to do with Central Methodist's other draw this season. All the way back in August when they drew against Kansas Wesleyan. They also lost 4-0 against Oklahoma Wesleyan. Long shot here, diving stop from Gutierrez. Comes up big again. Now a corner kick for maybe one last shot attempt. 1 minute to play in the match. Laura Andres. Andres sends this one in top of the box, and the header goes south. Eventually kicks it out of bounds. Another throw-in coming up here for Andres. Andres finds Geraldine. Geraldine stays on her feet. Kicks it once, kicks it twice. Cleared up to the top for a bit. I'm trying to work with it. Eventually sent up, and with the final seconds ticking away, that will do it for the first round. Central Methodist moves on to the Hart Conference semifinals with a 3-0 victory over the Mount Mercy Mustangs. And so the Mustangs, after starting off the season 5-1-2, they end the season on a rather poor note. So Mount Mercy 7-9-2 this season. And on the other side, Central Methodist now 15-1-2. What a season that they are having, as the season will continue on Saturday, coming up against the winner of the match later tonight between the two squads who are going to be coming into play, Benedictine and Park. Excited for that one. We'll see which of those two teams is going to be heading to Fayette to play the Eagles in the second round. Of course, the championship will come up next week, 1 week from today. The championship held next Wednesday, but we'll have to see which teams are playing in that one. So that will do it for the match. Taking a look back at the numbers and the stats for tonight, Louisa Schaup, the leader in goals scored. She scored 2 of them. Sarah Garcia also added in a goal. Schaup's first one came in the 6th minute, and the second one from Garcia came in the 51st minute. finished off by Louisa Schaup in the 62nd minute as the players celebrate down on the field, placing their name on the bracket as they move ahead in the conference tournament. What a moment. Central Methodist continuing a great season as they look to make history and keep on winning if they can. They've been very impressive this year. They'll look to keep it up. Central Methodist outshot Mount Mercy 24-6 today. They had 11 shots on goal to Mount Mercy's 3. Both teams had 4 corner kicks. Central Methodist only committed 4 fouls. Meanwhile, Mount Mercy committed 11. Neither team had a booking. No cards for either side. And Manuela Gutierrez, 8 saves on the year, in the game, allowed just 3 goals to come across. Not too bad of a performance from her. Although she would have liked to stop maybe one more, but she was put in some tough spots and had a relatively impressive performance today. Brooke Asor on the other side had 3 saves, did not allow a goal for the Eagles. And along with that, Mariana Barreto, 3 assists in the match, but no goals for her. Back-to-back matches without a goal. Rather surprising. We'll see if she turns that around and turns it up for next match. But that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. Big shout out to all of you for tuning in. And so for myself, Austin Thomas, and from the rest of the Central Methodist Eagles, thank you, and have a great rest of your night.